So it could have been either way on that one.
Bobby Lee's all over the place, like Eric said. I mean, he's just in tons of stuff.
Yeah.
He's the type
He likes
of
to do stuff, I
He's
guess.
like The Rock.
I don't know if he likes to do stuff as much as it is he's probably cheap. Like you can probably get an appearance. He probably has a really cheap appearance fee. And so you can probably get him to do a lot of stuff. He probably only charges like $10,000 to come do stuff.
That's why The Rock's in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
He's a cheap hire.
Yeah, he is.
He does not charge a lot to, like, he has some rules you have to follow, but he's not a hard person to get hired if you can afford it.
Yeah.
That makes sense as to why he's been in so many B movies and the like.
Plus, apparently, like, if you listen to his interviews, and granted, he's a liar by nature, and I don't mean that defamingly. I mean that, like, he's an actor purely, and he will tell you whatever you want to hear. That's
Not only is he an actor, he's an old school professional wrestling.
Yeah, he does not
stage actor.
He is the character. He no longer can break being The Rock because
you have to play out the clout at all times.
Yeah, he cannot break kayfabe no matter at all. I don't know if he's ever been a real person in his life.
You know, he went back to the stage
Yeah,
like 2 weeks ago or something. He showed up on WWE.
yeah, he does guest appearances all the time.
No, I mean, like, he came back and he was like, I'm coming back to wrestling.
Ooh.
And
interesting.
Yeah,
Good
he
for
was
him.
like,
I wonder why. I wonder because I know McMahon retired recently. I wonder what Triple H did. Who is running from what I know? And granted, maybe this isn't true.
were you about to say running for office?
No, running the WWE.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say, like, he's
He's
running
the
for
CEO,
office.
I think.
Is he really? Triple H?
I think so.
Okay. Well,
Because
McMahon's getting
he
old.
married. Well, McMahon retired.
Did he?
Yes. You know, he married Triple H married his daughter. McMahon's a king. Essentially, that's what he thinks himself as. So
I hear he's a very bad man.
he is. Yes.
I mean, yeah. He's
I mean, he plays it up though, isn't he? Kind of like
Oh,
his
universal
character is
heel,
that he is a bad
but, like,
man.
but he's also an actually bad man.
He's a morally
reprehensible
Yeah, that word.
person who
Yeah,
treats
yeah,
his
yeah.
wrestlers very poorly.
Well, just like to start it off in the very beginning of his business days. One, like two points if you just need it. One, he gave every single one of his wrestlers steroids, and only promoted them if they were white and had blonde hair, and took those steroids because that was his type.
Is he gay?
He wouldn't say that,
Okay.
but I mean, have you seen his business?
I have seen his
yeah,
business.
there are a lot
He-
of sparkling,
and it is known-
greased up men.
It is known that he, like, if he is like promoting a wrestler, his type, Hulk Hogan, is a tall, muscular, blonde man. If you look at all the people that he had a hand in making a champion, he has a fucking type.
So
I
he's
think
either
he likes to be rammed in the ass by big white biker types.
okay.
I
So he's
believe that.
either like gay or he's a Nazi, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, yeah,
he
it
could be
go
a
either way.
closeted gay Nazi type.
It could go
Yeah,
both
that's
ways, for
possible.
sure.
That's many such cases, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So many closeted Nazi
They
gays.
just want someone with handlebar mustaches to grab them like a Harley and ride them into the sunset. You know?
Yeah, like the current Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
And then we
well.
just all look towards the camera.
Did you guys see? Speaking of Nazis, did you guys see that guy who's in charge of the Nationalist Party in Germany?
What? There's an.
Yeah, there's like a Nazi party in Germany.
How did they allow that?
People are not happy. However,
Yeah.
there is a National Socialist Party in Germany, and the guy running it looks. Patrick put up his picture. He looks like a cartoon character. Like,
wait, in a good way or a bad way?
in like the funniest way possible.
Does he look like a cartoon Nazi or something?
No,
Or does he
no.
look-
He
Does
looks
he have
like his
a
hair.
twirly mustache?
He has a sheriff's like handlebar mustache. He has he looks like a country singer with like a haircut that his mother gave him.
Oh, come on.
Like
I just hate that for country music in general. It's just like all of the prominent racists look like they're country music stars. But country music is weirdly not
You can't-
inherently racist.
hold on, I'm gonna pull up a picture
A
of
lot
him
of
for
black
you.
folks actually like.
You can't.
A lot of black folks and really country white folks listen to mostly rap and country. It's
Yeah.
the weirdest thing, and there's a huge amount of crossover that you wouldn't think was there, but it's weirdly there's a lot. Like at least down here in Mississippi. Anyway.
You want an
I don't-
explanation for that?
They're all poor,
No, it's because.
so we all listen to the same music because we can afford it. And it talks
slightly.
about
I mean,
shit that
it
we
is slightly that, but no, from what,
Well,
and
music
I
talks
might be
about shit
wrong
we-
about this. From what the statistic I heard, don't most of our like the U.S. black population live in the South?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
then
that there's-
statistically
yeah,
speaking,
it
they
makes
would
sense
hear
that
lots
there's
of
a lot
country music,
crossover.
yeah.
yeah.
That is correct. And then the ones that live in the north generally live in urban populations. And you've got to be absolutely kidding me.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're gonna have to like
What?
slam on the brakes about like.
He looks
you know,
like if you like could get him to work
cultural
out with that
music.
with those bangs, he could be in Conan.
Wow.
Its name is Rain Eppel. Is he not? He's Estonian. I thought he was Germany.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say I thought it was legitimately illegal
that is
to
a
be
human
Nazi
being.
in Germany.
That is a human being that is trying to be taken seriously. Why do all white
He looks
supremacists, like by their very nature, prove the fact that white people aren't inherently any better than anyone else?
No. Eric,
Like,
you should be asking is why do the leaders of white supremacists they always look flumpy?
I mean, did you ever see Goebbels? Did you ever see what Goebbels looked like?
No,
Goebbels?
what's a Goebbels?
Goebbels was like the guy who killed himself with Hitler after Hitler killed himself. He like
I
killed
think
his
it's normally pronounced Goebbels or something.
Goebbels. He
it's
killed
Nah, I
like
ain't
his
never seen
very
that guy.
German, and I'm not gonna swear to that pronunciation.
he and his wife killed their children.
Yeah.
When they were in the bunker,
Is
and
it
then
Joseph
they killed
Goebbels?
themselves.
Or Joseph Goebbels.
He shot his wife and then shot himself, and then they burned their bodies. But
Yeah.
like, let me pull up a picture of this man. He looks like the funniest looking man to be
Okay.
like, yes,
Yeah,
whites are supreme.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Goebbels was a goofy looking dude. It's just like the only people who would care enough.
That dude
about,
looks like the Grim Reaper from Supernatural.
He does. He looks like the Grim Reaper. Like look
his
at that.
big ass ears, like
I'm pretty sure
pointy
that
nose.
picture just below the one you have clicked, not the one up with the podium, but the one to the left, is actually just the actor from Supernatural when he's at the table eating lasagna. Like, I'm not convinced that's actually Goebbels.
Like how it's sitting there says children death and other facts.
Yes,
Like,
yeah. He was
He was a big what is it? The
Good
SS
person.
guy.
did
Yeah.
he get hanged?
I think-
no, he killed himself.
No, he killed himself in
Oh.
the bunker with Hitler.
Well, good.
yeah, he killed his wife and then killed
People
himself.
say suicide is never the answer.
Well,
I was
he-
just thinking about that other day.
In this one case, it was a long-term solution to a problem that needed a long-term solution.
yeah, that
Yeah.
and he
Normally, I would tell them it's a.
Would you say it's a final solution?
it was the final solution he needed.
It was the final solution we should have done about 20 years before the Holocaust started.
They killed
but,
their first before they killed themselves. They killed their 6 children because in a world where National Socialism didn't exist, they considered that not a world.
Remember, white supremacists, these are your heroes.
Yeah, I know. It's so fucked. I watched that movie Downfall about Hitler, and then like there's a scene where they just slowly go around the room as the wife kills the children, and I've never been so mad.
It always fucks me up when people are like, "It's the," and I know we're gonna be getting into it. This is just how it is. But I hate when people are like around here, the Democrats are so racist from back in the day, and it's like, yeah, but who does the KKK vote for?
Yeah.
Who are Nazis voting for again? What party exactly? 'Cause
Libertarians.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, and what party do libertarians?
I'll tell you
vote
what,
for?
they didn't vote for
Not
Biden.
the
Libertarians, I
goddamn
hope.
Democrats. I'll tell you that.
No, they don't vote for Democrats.
Yeah, I
that's for
don't
sure.
think any of the white
Fuck you,
supremacists
Republicans.
voted for Biden. Let's be honest.
I don't think they. I wonder
know-
if they
you
voted.
know.
They're
You're
felons.
going,
They're felons. I wonder if they voted.
Felons don't vote. They
I
can't.
know. Most of them are felons, I'd imagine.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
You don't
A
think
lot
so?
of them live in the South and never get charged for their crimes.
Oh, that's true. That's not to say they've not committed felonies.
Oh,
However,
yes. No, they
Also,
definitely
you're
are
forgetting
felons.
about a rampant white supremacy problem in our police force. And
Ah,
God
yes.
knows no one in the police force gets charged with shit.
no.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of cops that aren't racist and, all that good shit.
Yeah, but
Like,
don't get us
it's-
wrong. It's definitely the minority of cops.
I disagree.
No, it's not.
I disagree.
I
It's not.
do.
I know you hate police,
I don't hate police.
which is weird because you
I don't hate police. I just think that, one, they don't really do the job.
you
that
don't
they
trust police.
Well,
Oh,
dude,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I
Okay.
trust
But,
police.
I mean, they're
I
the,
do too.
Yeah.
They're the arm of essentially a corporate government, and I just am like, whatever.
There's no
Why
way you would
should
get
I?
around that. That's how they work in every government.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they don't have to.
they have to be paid.
No, but it is what they do in
Yeah,
every
I'm not,
system
I'm not
of government.
denying that, but that doesn't mean I have to like it.
the
That's
basic
true. You don't like being
enforcement-
told what to do.
That's true too.
The basic enforcement of laws and like peacekeeping and stopping people from like raping and killing each other.
And I'm
I
not-
feel like having a gang of armed individuals that are, generally held to a strict,
But my
set of standards that I can call on at any time.
He's
will
talking
show
about
up
the
to my
Yakuza,
house.
by the way.
you mean this
Yeah.
gang of people who can't stop the crime that was committed to you. Usually can't find the person who committed the crime done against you. And then don't really do much other than react. And if they do solve it, could just be done by detectives anyway. I mean, this is just the last podcast topic all over again.
It is the same
if you're
podcast.
just gonna skim like the ACAB Twitter forums, then yes, all of those would be exactly. And the only things that
I
you
don't
would
use
hear.
Twitter.
Yeah, he only uses Reddit, as a matter of fact.
Exactly.
He's a solely Reddit user.
Yes.
The true leftist media posting site.
It really
So, you know.
is. Reddit is such a fucking ACAB
If you just,
hellhole. I
you know,
swear to
cartwheel
God.
out of your echo chamber
ACAB,
for a minute.
but I'm not ACAB. I do think that there is a place for law enforcement. I just don't think that we need it nearly as big or to the amount that we have it.
Yeah,
When
you
was
would
the
like to
last
live in
time
Norway
you heard
or
a
something.
story about a police officer, stopping a rapist or like, anything like that?
Exactly. When is the
No,
last
we
time?
don't report on it because that's just their job. And it's just like, yeah, of course you did, dumbass. That's what you're supposed to do. But it's huge news anytime someone whose job is to stop rapists drags a girl into his back of his car and rapes her. Now it's suddenly fucking huge news. And it is, and he should be viciously persecuted and punished.
Uh-huh.
But we're completely ignoring the other 500 cops who, saved battered women and, stopped a kid from being abused and, went
but we're not
arrested
talking
an
about-
abusive father.
But let's be realistic. We're not talking about rapists and stuff
all
like
of
that.
the
We're
other
talking about
85 to 95% of the times where cops are just doing their job that absolutely has to be done and keeps the peace.
that's arguable.
I agree with Eric on this, to be
That's
honest.
very arguable.
I think Will's
even
naive
bad
in like
cops
99%
are doing
of things,
police
though.
work most of the time.
Hold on.
they're-
One on human nature. No, they're not. Because
They have to do
humans
it because they have to appear that they are doing it.
they're appearing that they do it.
And in order to appear that you're doing it, you have to pull over people who speed. You have to go to domestic abuse situations and break up fights.
Yeah. Sometimes I put two furnitures into the truck instead of one every now and again to make it look like I'm doing good.
I'm saying even bad cops are usually doing police work, is all I'm saying,
And
because
I'm
they
saying
have to in order to keep their job.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
I'm
or else
saying
the-
that the other 95% of their job is doing shit.
No, their job is just to stop crimes and stuff.
And they don't generally do that because they react to crimes.
No, they. Oh, okay. So he wants the pool full of the psychics so that they can
Yeah,
tell
I want
people.
that movie. What's that movie where
That's
they...
Minority Report.
Minority
Yeah,
Report.
let's get Minority Report.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Will
let's
wants
just-
Minority
Let's
Report.
just
Hell yeah.
randomly jail people who haven't
Let's-
actually committed crimes.
let's
Literally
use-
1984.
Let's use AI to figure out who's going to commit crimes.
Yeah,
and just
I'm
do
sure that black neighborhoods
Psychopaths.
won't suddenly be seeing a lot of police coming into them all of a sudden because AI would immediately take on a bunch of fucked up trends from the internet and stuff.
Weren't you the one that...
That's not my argument.
Weren't
That
you the
would be
one
a
that...
hellscape, my friend. A hellscape,
No,
I
if
tell
you-
you.
I
Police
think
have to react
legitimately-
to crimes because you can't persecute people who haven't committed crimes yet.
If you want what my take of what police should essentially be, though it's not a perfect example because it's not meant to be, but if you refine the idea in Disco Elysium or whatever it's called,
Elysium.
yeah, where it's just like the community hires a department that's full of detectives, goes out, they solve the crime, and then they just deputize whoever they need to get the criminal and bring them back to court.
So you're
It
suggesting
would
that the
work
people
fine.
who do all of the wet work are random civilians that you give guns to and tell
No.
say, "Follow me, boys."
No, generally,
That's
I
called
suggest-
a lynching, sir, and we don't deputize civilians like that anymore
So-
because we have organized groups now.
No,
Sorry,
because the
keep
way you're viewing it is they take this guy and they hang him by a tree. No, this is in the 1820s. What I'm saying is that you take what normally would be called a town militia or the National Guard, which is what we call our nation's militia, and you take those people who volunteer to be part of that, and you deputize those guys, and they don't go hang the guy by the tree like it's the 1820s. They just take him like a police officer would normally do in today's age. They arrest him, and they take him to a holding jail.
Yeah, we have that. It's called a SWAT team. We
Yeah,
just
and
pay them specifically to do that instead of to also go overseas
and
occasionally.
I'm just saying is we don't need those guys always 24/7. We could legitimately
but
just
you do
not.
need them to be on call 24/7, specifically for
And-
civilian stuff.
And we
like
already
that.
have people like that. They train every fucking weekend. It's called the National Guard.
Wait,
Well,
okay,
you'd
so do you
still
want to
just-
send the
you-
National Guard to a domestic abuse situation?
Okay, so
What about petty crime? Like, what do you do about petty crime in this situation? You send the guy
What
with
do
the
you do?
AR?
What do
Normal
you do
cops
about
don't stop
traffic
petty
stuff?
crime.
Yes,
Yeah, they do.
They do all the time.
And they don't all the time. What are you talking about?
And
you
they
ever
fail
been in a
sometimes
domestic
because
situation?
they can't always get there
There are
on
people
time.
stealing from Walmart right now. Where are the cops?
Yes.
The cops are there.
They catch them all the time,
The
dude.
cops are literally there. There's a
No,
parking
they
spot
store-
for them.
goes
Who's
there
catching
all
them?
the time and
Store-
does side
No.
work where he captures
I work retail. You know who's
shoplifters.
catching shoplifters? Me. I'm catching the shoplifters. I'm the fucking employee doing it. And then, guess what? I'm calling the people who are reacting to catching the
It's
shoplifter.
both.
Yeah, they
Yes,
catch them
and
out in
it
the
would
parking
be in
lot.
the system I'm promoting.
Well, then you're not changing anything.
I am.
You're just changing
stopping,
the name.
You're stopping 99%. Yes, all the people who want to be beat patrolmen, who want to be violent, get to go be violent people in the National Guard. They need to go shoot guns and all the other bullshit that they want to do in the National Guard.
You're just
They don't get to
making the
do
police
it.
also the National Guard.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
doesn't
doesn't
do
change
anything.
You've
Yes,
done
it
nothing.
does.
No,
what,
it doesn't.
What did you do?
What
What
does
did
it
you
change?
change?
One. Okay, you stopped armed patrols on a daily thing. That
No,
helps.
you didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, I
No,
did.
you just
I-
made them the National
I-
Guard now.
Yes, and the
You
National
have to have
Guard doesn't.
patrollers.
And the National, I disagree.
You just changed
I
their
disagree.
name.
You do not need patrollers.
Yes,
I
you do.
I disagree.
You need people who are patrolling around the city who can react quickly to violent crimes. That's the whole point. You need a single dude with a pistol who can show up and be like, hey, y'all need to fuck right off with this bullshit. You
What do
don't
you
always need a whole
define-
SWAT team. Just one dude with a pistol and a good head on his shoulders can
define for
stop
me
violent
a quick
stuff.
reaction. Define for me a quick reaction.
Dude, sometimes police show up within 5 minutes of the call if they're in the area.
If they're in the area.
Yes.
That's why you
and
need
if you
patrol
don't have any
officers.
patrol officers, they'll never be in the area, will they?
Dude, I look at. I've seen city times where they go from like 30 minutes to hours at a time.
Yes,
But
because
there's no
some
police.
departments suck, and because some places are further away from the police department. And if we had more patrol officers, then we'd be able to respond quicker.
I'm saying that obviously we live in a world where patrol officers cannot react. Where you need that, like you just can't.
You're right.
That's
you need
retarded.
way more patrol officers.
Yeah,
You
that's
heard it. Will
retarded.
says increase police funding by 4 times, increase the size of all departments by 4 times so that we can have cops sitting at every corner watching everyone 24/7 so that no crimes may be ever
we
committed.
could just do that with AI and cameras.
The Chinese do that and people hate it.
Yeah,
and
it's called
the-
a police state. It sucks.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We already have it. I don't care.
We kind of do.
Yeah.
But only on
Like,
traffic
all you
stops.
did
That's
was
another
change
thing.
the
Is
names.
people are like, ooh, Chinese credit score system, social credit. But I'm like, we already do credit score system.
That
Yeah,
and
we've had credit score for way longer.
I'm like, people,
Ours just fucks us
speaking
over
of China,
financially.
have you been
Oh, wait.
listening recently about this whole like Chinese missile thing?
No, what do they got a Chinese
Apparently,
missile
like
thing?
the news
I've
came
heard-
out
keep
with
hearing
like the
some weird stuff
Yeah, the
about
Chinese were
missiles floating
putting
around.
water in their nuclear missiles, and their missile doors couldn't open. And I'm just sitting here like, if you literally believe that there are Chinese scientists, Chinese rocket engineers putting fucking water as fuel in their missiles, going across the idea that first of all that's just too retarded to believe.
Yeah.
That's literally like believing that we actually factually put screen doors in our goddamn submarines.
or
It's
that we
people-
landed on the moon. Am I right, guys?
Sure.
Yeah,
Anyway,
hell
but, yes, I do know what you're talking about, where people overly accuse China of being a paper dragon. We're
Yeah.
just like, look, at the end of the day, go out and talk to 5 servicemen from every branch of the U.S. military. Okay?
Yeah,
they
they're
will tell
fucking
you
retarded.
about how fucking retarded everybody is, how our supply lines are fucked, how morons are running things, and it starts to sound kind of similar to the propaganda we hear about how shitty
Yeah.
the Chinese military
Yes.
is. It's just like, no, giant militaries just have supply line issues, are half run by morons because, well,
There's not
half
enough intelligent
of the people in the world
are
are morons.
Exactly.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say half.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
the
that
real-
number's pretty generous.
The
let's
real
be
paper
honest there.
dragon too is
And
fucking
specifically
Russia, and we all
guys who
know
joined
that.
the
Yeah, the
military.
actual paper dragon turned out to be Russia.
Yeah.
who currently still can't conquer Ukraine.
It's fucking weird.
Fucking
Oh,
pussies.
and did you see how many people are wounded or dead on the Russian side?
Yes, I
Like
understand.
way more than 20 years of fighting in Iraq on any country who did that.
I don't know what
yeah,
their
our highways,
or just in the Middle East.
U.S.
at all.
highways were easily claiming like 3 times the lives every year we were in the
Chicago!
Middle East.
Yeah, we were just
Chicago
watching
has
this.
less lives dead in what I
less
just.
lives dead, more dead.
more
Yeah.
dead.
Oh,
more
more.
dead.
No,
More
no,
people
no,
died.
no.
Chicago, more people died in Chicago in 1 year than the entire Iraq war.
Yes, no. What I'm trying to say is in all of that, in that amazing statistic where like more Chicagoans died than the entire Iraq war, more Russians have died fighting Ukraine than people in Chicago have died.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is kind of the statistic of attacking a fortified position at this point.
Oh, it's got to be a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like realistically, at this point, the war has gone so far, so long that they have fortified themselves to an extreme.
In the modern era, it's just kind of difficult to get rid of an entrenched like military position with modern military hardware.
Well, we have a way to do it, but it's kind of condemned by the entire world.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have one really. That's why all we did was trick for that.
Yeah, that's why
Scientists
all we
hate
did
'em.
was spin our. Yeah, scientists hate this one trick.
Patrick, put up a picture of the scientist.
No, but that's the trick. Like even in the Middle East, where some of these motherfuckers were, whipping out their like 7-foot-long muskets and stuff that they use to snipe goats from the mountains. And you know what?
Which
all
is
you
so
do
cool.
Is like a tiny bit of like modern tactics and a tiny bit of modern training. And you're entrenched in the mountainside, and suddenly this guy's picking off the occasional American soldier with his 1870s model.
I will say we did put a stop to that in the fact that
we did eventually.
Eventually, we developed a bomb that sucks all of the air out of the fucking cave.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of a firebomb situation. We
Not
got smart with
even
it.
that. Just
We
choke
actually
to
almost
death
got in
and
trouble.
die.
We almost got in trouble. The Geneva Conventions were just like, I don't know about that one.
I don't know if you could just suck all the air out of
Yeah.
a cave and just suffocate
There was a whole
everyone in
thing
there.
where they were just like, yeah, we're not supposed to use our white phosphorus grenades on the entrances to caves. And then they just kind of
I will
stopped the
say,
sentence there.
America really is just the like test child for war crimes, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's,
we're really, really good at them.
Also,
we commit them quite frequently. in
The
fact.
big way that we countered in the war in Iraq and in general, like the Gulf War, the way that we countered people entrenched in mountains was with gunships. That was our main way of like
C-130.
just pretty much like
Fucking C-130s for days.
you can just blow a guy up
airborne
from 15
artillery.
miles. Yeah,
Just a fucking.
They
and
just
then
got
boom,
these like
gone.
20 millimeter Vulcan cannons and nonsense like that with like, full howitzer artillery.
Future Patrick, just replace my stupid noise with the actual 130 noise.
it sounds it's the same noise.
so
I can't.
fucking-
I'm future Patrick. Are you hearing the same thing I am? I'm pretty sure that's the exact same noise.
Yeah, play that. Play
I
that back.
perfectly replicated.
Yeah,
Please do.
play that back and put them right next to each other. I'm pretty sure that that's the same noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, just play the whole broadside of a C-130 and then play him.
Did you know that people that work in gunships like that have like
Hearing problems.
well, they have a lot of things. As a matter of fact,
For
they have
sure.
like one of the lowest the lowest life expectancies of people in the
What?
military.
That's so weird because they never
they get
shot
cancer.
down.
No, they get cancer.
Ah,
you
there
get
we
like
go.
everybody in gunships gets cancer.
Is it the uranium bullets?
I have no idea.
Depleted
but
uranium
I don't think they
rounds.
know.
Yeah. How depleted do you think they are?
Not very depleted.
Not as depleted as we had hoped.
Also, they have back problems because they have to scrunch into those tiny guns, and that's like so it just ruins your body being in a gunship, basically.
Oh yeah,
gosh.
submarines, helicopter landings. The military will fuck your body up.
They're
That's
also
why
the
it's one
most,
of the easiest places to get disability from when you
Yeah,
get
and
out.
the VA does not.
Patrick,
They
fucking
don't. But if
Patrick,
you
fact
get
check
that,
this.
You can get a lot of disability.
help. Sure, but good luck.
Patrick, fact check this. I think that they're also in like the top 10 most mentally unwell military personnels too. Being in a
Why?
gunship.
Like you're so up high in the air, I can't imagine it looks like
Maybe
mud.
it's
Because
part
with-
of the detachment of blowing people to smithereens with like
Well, that's what
and
I'm
you're
saying
looking
is
at
like
through the screen.
there's no
it's
way
like,
it can be that much seen.
So it's actually I do know this, and it a lot of the time you can see what you're doing, and then you pop a building full of holes, right? And the building's basically Swiss cheese,
Right.
And a lot of it is that. And two, when people in the Iraq War specifically, this doesn't apply to all wars, but in the Iraq War, when people wanted C-130 gunfire to help them out of an entrenched position, it took a lot of paperwork to get a C-130 to actually fire. So you couldn't just help a guy.
Oh yeah, because we had harsh.
So lots of
engagements.
people died because people in gunships couldn't support them.
Yeah, I remember
So
this.
a
They
lot
had
of
to
people
sit there and watch until the orders
I remember hearing
came
about
down.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember as a kid hearing about this.
So a lot of people have bad mental health in gunships because they can't like help
wouldn't be-
fellow
yeah.
soldiers, and they're like the reason they died.
Couldn't be
basically,
me.
Well, also,
Couldn't be me. I'd be in the
imagine
brig.
this.
you would
Yeah,
could
could not be me.
Yeah.
Here's an even worse thing. Now imagine this: like you're waiting on the orders, but also like through your scope, you can see the allies, and you know you can't broadside them because if you were to fire all three of those,
Oh,
big
that's gotta be
guns-
rough.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
like you basically just have to watch them get like tracked
Murdered,
down and
basically,
gunned
yeah.
down.
I listened to a guy
by
talk
the enemy.
about his time in a gunship, and he was a gunner, and he was next to the radio. And some guy came on the radio and he said it was the first time he ever heard somebody screaming for their life, like just
Oh.
begging
See,
for fire.
I'm just telling you, couldn't be me. I don't care how much of the military beats it out of you. You just
they
that's
ended
a-
up doing it.
Yeah, I
They
was about to
ended
say
up-
there's got to be a principle. You just cannot you just can't defeat
There have
that.
been plenty of times in the military
Yeah,
where
like, I
you know,
heard so many
people
helicopter
breaking
pilots.
orders like
Yeah.
before getting it.
Here's
Like,
the
and they
thing.
don't get-
Helicopter pilots,
yeah.
from all the stories I heard, like the most notorious, from like just being like, fuck it, we're going in.
Here's the thing. They ended up doing it. They waited. They did wait. They did get authorization to use the gunship. They ended up firing on the building that had the soldier pinned down. And then once they landed and got down there to go retrieve him, because they were the closest thing in the fucking area,
Right.
they saw that they had fired on a building full of civilians.
Ah.
And there were some people.
They spec ops lined them.
Yeah, they just they just blew up the whole fucking building basically and killed like 50 people where there were like 3 guys with guns.
Right.
So
Yeah, they spec ops the line.
That's another
the guy.
thing
Yeah.
about insurgency and terrorist removal is
Is usually they're
collateral
in-
damage.
That's and unfortunately that's the biggest thing right now with the current terrorism that's happening.
There's terrorism happening?
Yeah.
I
That's
thought we
the
had a
biggest-
war on that.
Well, it ended and then it happened again.
Wait, I thought we won the war on terror.
Actually,
we
what's
had a war
fucked
on
up-
drugs too. Remember?
Eric, let me.
That worked out
You've
really
got
well.
different opinions than me. Let me get your hot take on this one.
All right, we probably
So-
flowed a little closer together on this one, to be honest. Let's see though.
So I do not disagree that Hamas needs to be destroyed.
Sure, absolutely. Fuck them, assholes.
What I am wondering is in a situation where, obviously violence begets violence, I think, right?
Absolutely.
I think we could agree
There's
on
a
that.
certain
There's a
what?
certain-
between Israel and Palestine.
There's a certain truth to that one.
so Will's like,
So-
should we also kill all the Jews?
Well, what I'm
Would it
saying
solve
is,
the problem?
Netanyahu has said that he has completely rejected the idea of a Palestinian state, like a 2-state solution.
Yeah, he
so-
and he basically views all Palestinians as Hamas across the board. at this
Yeah,
point.
pretty much. It's a bad situation. So what I'm wondering is, obviously this is going to happen again. The sympathizers are going to become members. The people who didn't sympathize are going to start to sympathize. That's just how the cycle goes. Do you think that basically how do I
okay.
phrase this?
Do
Do you kill civilians? Like, do you try to go? Like, obviously, I think you have to do everything you can to fucking not kill civilians, right?
Right.
But like, if you have 3 gunmen in a building full of civilians, like say an
Your
apartment block,
obligation is to send actual fire teams in and hunt them down.
you should do the hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Well, the
have to
problem
put in
is-
the work.
We're agreed then.
You don't
Okay.
have
You
the
have to
people
put in the week.
generally.
You cannot carpet bomb a building with 50 civilians and 3 gunmen in it. No, you may not do that. That is a war crime.
Okay,
for sure.
we're in agreement. All right.
Yeah,
My
it-
solution would be to simply kill the entire leadership of Hamas and kill the entire leadership of Israel right now.
We're currently doing that in
And
Yemen
then,
right now.
and then simply tell the populations, you've got what you've got right now,
Make friends.
fuck up
and you
again.
may not take or like do anything else to each other. And oh yeah, open borders.
How very American of you to subjugate
Like-
another nation and then tell them to get along.
How,
I don't
wanna
give a
say,
fuck anymore.
I agree.
All they do
actually.
is trying to fucking kill each other. I don't
I
fucking
agree.
care.
Just
I'm
go-
tired of hearing about it.
Just go mama bear
don't
in the situation.
care.
This is what Biden needs to do. I'll hot take this. This is what Biden needs to do. We need to put boots on the ground, just suffer through the casualty, all 4,000 casualties that we would take. Just kill everyone's leadership and just be like, okay, you're a new American state. Pal-Israel.
There's a lot of issues with
Yeah,
that.
Pal-Israel.
It
You're a
is
new
a
American
joint-
fucking state.
it
Pay
is a
your
jo-
goddamn taxes or we'll be back, bitch.
There's a lot of
It's
issues with
50%
that.
Muslim, 50% Jewish, and you will get along or we will walk into the streets and shoot you for not getting along. Okay? That is it. That's the last. There's your fucking final solution right there.
You're
Be
Pal-Israel.
peaceful or die. Like, that is it. Like, I am so fucking tired because you're just going to keep killing each other over and over and over again.
Force this peace
about
by
how
pointing a
old
gun
your
to
story
both of
about-
you. Oh, God, I love it.
Like, you're just gonna kill each other over and over and over again about who should own the land and how old your story about God is or whatever. It's just like,
What a-
fuck all that shit.
what a
Whoever
manly
lives there
solution.
right now in each thing is fine. If somebody wants to sell their house, they can sell it to a Jew or a Muslim. Does not matter. I don't fucking care anymore. Anyone can live wherever they want to live. Does not matter. You can live in Israel if you want to live in Israel. You can live in Palestine if you want to live in Palestine. Stop going to war. Stop it. I don't care about your stupid fucking arguments. They don't matter anymore. Both of you are fucking murdering the shit ass civilians.
Patrick, shift this up really high so it's really funny.
It's just complete bullshit now. I'm tired of hearing about it. It has been constant since we moved them in there in the first place, which, you know.
Some would argue they've always been there.
You know, the thing about
They left and somebody else moved in.
Weren't they
okay?
enslaved?
No takesies, backsies.
Wait.
No, they weren't enslaved by the Egyptians.
Well, but the Byzantines.
No, I mean, there were Jewish slaves in various places throughout the world, but humans were just taken as slaves in those times, so
True.
you didn't necessarily
True.
have to be a Jew. It wasn't specific.
We are all equally
They were
slaved
somewhat-
under the Byzantines. Thank you.
They were somewhat disliked
Israel.
and fringed in the Christian world, but you know, they weren't Muslims, so generally speaking, they were
we should
allowed to
elect,
stick around on
we
the
should
edges
elect
of town.
Eric as the governor of Pal-Israel. Or
Yeah, I'll let you have Israel. He can have Palestine.
I don't care about
I'll
your
stay in
race
America.
or your religion. You will treat each other as humans, and you will live.
Eric, do you want to
Here.
hear something I learned recently? Did you know that Michelle Obama grew up in she grew up in Chicago in a place called O Block apparently.
Sure.
Did you know she invented drill music?
Yeah, do you know what drill music is?
Yeah.
Drill music.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a type of rap music. It's like really aggressive rap music.
Yeah. And she invented it on O Block with, her brother and his friends.
Yeah.
Really, she's credited with that. Like,
Yeah, she's
officially,
from Chicago. She
And
was from
she
O
lives in
Block.
O
This-
Block. Yeah,
yeah.
you can look all this up.
Yeah.
She
drill
invented
music.
a subgenre of rap.
Yeah,
Interesting.
drill music was invented in O Block of Chicago,
I had no idea.
and you can look it up.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
You've
very
never heard her
interesting.
music?
No.
We hadn't until today either. We were
Yeah.
watching that thing on
It's
O
pretty
Block.
underground, and they definitely buried it. Once the
I was
presidency
gonna
happened.
say the Democrats were like, yeah, just put that under
Yeah,
the ground.
bury that.
She says like the hard R at least.
I mean, like,
3 or 4
imagine
times.
if Republicans. I mean, Obama smoked weed once in college. I mean, imagine if they found out Michelle Obama invented drill music.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I mean,
surprised you haven't
Obama
heard.
said he smoked weed once in college and then admitted to the fact that he inhaled.
And they
every
went
president
insane.
has done drugs
Yeah,
and probably are doing drugs.
Oh, dude,
Like-
it was so base that Washington literally had plantations of weed.
I just don't believe. I am no longer of the belief that anyone who is in any kind of significant place of power isn't
Isn't doing drugs.
like.
Well, you'd be
is-
lying to
They're
yourself.
not necessarily not doing drugs, but they're probably doing something
They aren't
that
being
they say
hedonistic?
that they're not doing.
Yeah, everyone in power is being hedonistic.
Well, they're
At
breaking the
some
law
point.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Like, you know,
We've seen the Epstein list,
Like Michelle
best case
Obama.
scenario,
and we know who you are.
they're not a happily married
Michelle Obama.
Christian man.
Viewer.
You know, they're a homosexual furry who loves conventions. That's your best case scenario because that guy's not like victimizing
least
or
he's not a
raping anyone.
pedophile.
Like he's just weird. Like he's weird, but
How
in a way
weird
that
would it
doesn't
be if
hurt
we
anyone.
actually saw, like, if someone went to a furry convention and like a helmet got removed and it turned out to be like Mike Johnson or something like that? Like, how fucking crazy would that
There
be?
was that guy in
Yeah,
Europe
like
recently.
Joe Lieberman or something.
yeah.
There was that guy in Europe recently who who was a politician that was like vehemently anti-gay, and then during COVID they had like this big famous gay orgy.
Oh, he was
And then
caught, he was caught running away
running
from
away.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I gotta admit, anytime I hear a super conservative politician railing against gays, all I can think of is that's not the only railing with gays he's been doing this
but
week.
you believe that Michelle Obama
right.
made drill music?
Did you guys make that up?
No,
Michelle
Eric.
Obama
No.
part.
Of course, Eric.
But her brother did invent drill music.
yeah, her brother
with
made
his
it.
friends.
Yeah.
I still don't even really know what drill music is.
It's just aggressive rap. It's just really fast rap.
Yeah, isn't
You
that
know,
called,
Machine Gun Kelly. He
I've
does.
heard, like,
Doesn't he do drill
speed-
music?
I've heard the term like speed
No,
rap.
I think it's mumble rap.
I
mumble
hate
rap.
mumble rap.
Yeah.
I'm not a big rap fan in general. Most rappers just aren't really talking about much.
I fucking love rap. I do.
Yeah.
I really like rap.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I listen to it occasionally, but it's just not.
I can show you some
A genre that gives me much.
Yeah, you should like let him show you some like really good rap. Anything from Tyler the Creator is really good.
He's actually one of the few people I've listened to some decent stuff from.
Danny Brown. I think you'd really like Danny Brown.
Yeah, you just got to find your artist.
It's just-
because like the thing about rap, at least in my opinion, is it is music of like, I mean, really just music of the show. If it's not mainstream stuff isn't this. You shouldn't. Do not take what I'm saying to the mainstream. But I feel like rap is really like just music of the soul. Like it's just how this. It's like poetry.
I think that's soul music.
T-Pain truly is music of the soul.
But I really think that like it's the
T-Pain a
newest.
rapper?
It's like almost the newest form of poetry without being poetry. Like it's I
when
don't
he
know.
said from
thought
the window
T-Pain was
to the
more
wall,
art.
Yeah, it spoke to me.
to the sweat drop down my
Now
balls.
you cannot take what I said and take it to the mainstream, like
Yeah.
what comes on radio. But I do think that good rap is like poetry of the soul.
I just think that rap is such a broad genre nowadays that
It is.
like I like some of
know.
it.
I hate that only because like you have hip hop, which is already the genre that rap falls into, right? Mm-hmm.
R&B.
And then like you can break rap down into further subgenres, but at that point, I think we're getting into the minutia of what like. You know,
Well, it's not as bad as rock is.
yes, but no, but rock. I think we're shortening what it is actually called, rock and roll, which is a genre. It also has a lot of subgenres. Rap is not rap itself is already a subgenre.
I feel
And like
like-
I get like you have other subgenres of rap, but like I don't know. I feel like at some point like we're getting too
All music
subgenre.
just looks like a giant branching tree to me. Like,
Yes,
like,
exactly. I
Rap
just-
is
I just
just
feel
one
like
of the
it's-
thicker branches that has lots of other little
That's
branches
true.
coming off.
That's
of
true.
it.
I just feel like sometimes we
lots
get
of
too
things can be
far.
good.
And you know what? Actually, I know what the feeling of this is. It's because I'm still pissed off about NASA punk.
I thought you were gonna say about being
NASA
old.
punk.
Yes, dude. So like, first of all, punk art styles are super cool. You've got cassette punk, which is all the 80s, like aliens and shit like
Yeah,
that.
steampunk.
Like you have
Biopunk.
steampunk, solar punk, biopunk, diesel punk. And it all stems from just like the cassette punk shit from the 80s. That's where it all stems from. But NASA punk, and like cyberpunk and shit like
course,
that,
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, cyberpunk would be where
Everything-
cassette punk comes from.
Right,
but
okay,
yes.
yeah. Cyberpunk is like the biggest one probably.
Yeah, well, as far as punk goes, as far as sci-fi punk goes,
Like steampunk and
It's
cyberpunk
like
are the
music.
two biggest ones.
steampunk, cyberpunk, yeah,
You could maybe say diesel or solar, but I wouldn't.
no.
put
It
them
would be
up there.
something like it would be whatever Conan the Barbarian is.
Oh,
that
yeah,
would
probably.
also be like
I don't know what that is though. Like techno punk, maybe.
no, it's like stone punk or
Stone
something.
punk. Okay, whatever. Anyways, my point being
Apocalypse
is
punk?
NASA punk was invented as a corporate marketing scheme specifically for Starfield, the game. And the person who termed it was I think it was Todd Howard. I can't confirm that, so if it's not true, whatever.
That's a
But
good
Todd Howard
trash can
is
to
pretty
throw all
much
those
said it.
ideas
He said like they wanted to stylize their game after NASA punk, which is a meaningless word. It looks like shit. All NASA punk is everything's put away orderly and neat.
But also everything looks
Not
like a
very punk.
rover.
Yeah, everything looks very clinical.
Yeah, everything looks like shitty science in real life and not fun at all.
Yes,
That's what it looks
it's
like.
Stupid, shitty, a corporate marketing scheme. It's quite literally everything blank punk is not about.
Wait, kind of like what was that game the people who made New Vegas came out with not too long ago that was also
Lost
like,
Worlds.
Outer World.
Yeah, Outer Worlds.
Worlds.
Kind of like Outer
Fuck,
Worlds.
don't
with-
even get me
without any
ranting
of
on
the-
out. Yes.
Like without the irony.
Yes, but God,
because-
I could rant for days on Outer
I'm
Worlds.
sure because Outer Worlds, self-awareness doesn't always excuse doing
Bad.
it over and over again. But anyway,
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Take that to note, Obsidian. Doing something bad doesn't mean you should do the bad thing over and over.
not that Lost Worlds is an inherently terrible game or anything, but we're not going to get too deep.
That's how I feel about Borderlands.
I like Borderlands.
I don't like Borderlands.
I feel like they did a bad thing over and over and over
I feel like they
again.
made a bad joke and they kept making that bad joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him a little bit better cheating.
I'm talking about the writing, not the gameplay. The gameplay's fun. It's just a looter shooter. I mean, it's the
I
most
don't like
basic.
it, but I don't like looter shooters.
I thought they were funny, but I think it's the trick with Borderlands is it's
hate
very
Claptrap.
niche, I guess, to a certain degree with the humor it wants to go with. It wants to stay in a very specific area with its humor
Well,
and
it's
stuff.
like it wants to
and
take itself serious and absurd at the same time.
And if that doesn't work,
Yeah.
then none of it
Are you
works.
supposed to like Claptrap?
Yeah, it's like absurdism that makes a statement.
No.
Yeah, and it doesn't do either.
I think
It
he's
does
supposed to be
absurdism.
like pathetically endearing to a certain
No,
degree,
it
but
doesn't
you
even
are
do
supposed to laugh at
absurdism
him.
because like I can follow it. You're not supposed to be able to follow absurdism.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force is absurdism, and you know that you
Can't
can follow
it.
that.
No, it's episode by episode.
Sure, I mean, but Borderlands is episodic. There's
yeah,
three
it
of
has
them.
a clear and concise story. I mean, the side quests get wacky, but the story is
Well, that's what I'm
goes in a
saying.
straight
I don't
line.
think they do either thing they attempt very well.
You know what's fun about Borderlands though is playing with other people.
I guess
It's
yeah.
like playing Halo 1. Like it's fun.
I like the goofy atmospheres and the fun character progression. The gameplay really sells it for the most part.
Yeah, I imagine it's a
obviously, but,
gameplay first kind of game.
Also, I mean, like if you play it stoned, which I'm like 99% sure you did.
What I do is I get in there with my little cheat engine and I get real stoned.
What is-
Give myself about a couple $1,000,000. Get the first 3 or 4 skill points and then max out every skill tree. And
Yeah.
then it's just a looter shooter with ridiculous powers.
Yeah.
What
Which
does
is, you know-
Gearbox? What's Gearbox even doing right now?
Gears of War, the
Losing
new
money.
one.
What they're doing? No, there's no new Gears of War coming out.
Yeah,
is there?
that's the mobile one. I'm not shitting you. The one that's like got Funko Pops.
So what is Gears of War?
Was
what
it
is-
Bobby Kotick
God.
or whatever? I'm sure he's
Nah,
snorting
that's not the
blow
guy. That's
off
not the
of,
guy. Bobby Kotick was in Blizzard Activision, and he's gone.
Is it?
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah, this.
Here's some more Funko Pops. Yeah.
Yeah, Gears Pop. That is.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh God! Wait.
wait, were they
Oh,
bought
it's
by-
Funko Pops as a video game.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's the Gears of War
Whoa.
Funko Pop
Oh,
video
I
game.
didn't
How the
realize.
mighty
I thought
have
you were
fallen.
fucking joking.
Wow,
Ew.
how do you go from Borderlands to this?
I don't know. I think it's a mobile game, right? Or is it on
that's
Xbox?
So much worse.
Yeah, it's a mobile game.
That's so much worse.
Oh, apparently they're not doing it anymore. Thank God.
I mean, it's insulting.
Yes, I mean it definitely
Oh
is.
yeah, that's not Gearbox.
Apparently not.
Well, look up Gearbox.
They are the ones that made Gears of War, right?
Yeah, who's
I
the
have
CEO
no idea.
of Gearbox? Because I feel like
I remember him being an ass.
Yeah, he's like a well-known, complete and total dickbag.
Yeah, I think this is a different company. Gearbox didn't make Gears of War. It doesn't look like.
Look at their most recent title.
I know they made Aliens: Colonial Marines.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, the Homeworld series. That's cool.
What's that?
Oh
It's
yeah,
an
Homeworld
art.
actually is fun.
Yeah, it's an RTS, like in space. Where
Now
you,
Gearbox
Oh,
has
they're
made
doing
lots
Risk
of
of
good
Rain
games.
too.
yeah, Risk of Rain 2. They published it, but games developed. Looks like Risk of Rain 2, Tales from the Borderlands, New Borderlands.
So basically, they're riding the Borderland dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing recently.
That's what
In
they've been
fact,
doing for like 10
It
years.
is
I
very
mean-
firmly believed that the reason Aliens: Colonial Marines was such a complete and total
Oh, that's been
dumpster
proven.
fire
That's true.
is that they siphoned money that they were being given from that company to Borderlands 2.
They proved that in court. Sony
they?
proved that in court.
Yep.
Yeah. Sony,
I'm glad
sued
you
the
could
shit out
confirm
of
that
them.
because I remember that as
Or
a
was it
huge-
Sega? Whoever it was, Sony or Sega. Whoever owned the rights fucking sued the
Sega
shit out of
owns
them.
barely anything, so
That's
probably not Sega.
Oh, yeah. No, they own a surprising, like, they do own a few things, like, you're right, but it's surprisingly hard hitting.
Yeah, it's not like Sony where they
Yeah.
own fucking everything.
They
Yeah.
have their claws
Well-
deep in the Total War franchise nowadays. It's been going
Oh, well,
decent with them.
they
What the
need to
hell?
get their claws a bit fucking deeper, apparently, because.
Into Will.
Yeah. Because apparently, fucking the people who make Total War has been fucking up. Yeah, their last game, Pharaoh, sold like shit. It's getting so many it's getting their games like Total War Rome 2, the Shogun 2 and Medieval 2, which are like 10 Empire or like 10 plus old games, getting
more sales.
more concurrent players on Steam than their newest game.
Oh, I still play the original Rome Total War. I still play Shogun 2. I occasionally play Empire Total War.
Why the
now
fuck
that I
aren't
have
you playing Total War Rome 2?
I'm going to look up how many hours
I also
Eric
have,
has in Shogun 2 real
Oh my
quick.
God, yeah. You, go ahead and look that up.
Yeah.
Look up how
Shogun
much
2 is so
hours
much
I have
fun.
and everything. except my newest acquisition, which is Total War Warhammer 2.
Well, you leave a lot of stuff running, which is like the main reason that I'm like not too concerned about the numbers, but I know that Shogun 2 was something ridiculous.
Oh yeah, dude. The amount of time I've spent on that in Fallout New Vegas.
1,908 hours in Shogun 2.
That's
almost like you play that game a lot.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed
how many
that game.
hours I've played of Hearts of Iron 4.
How much on Fallout New Vegas over there?
New Vegas is 400 hours.
Yeah. That doesn't count the 3 different consoles I've played it on.
Yeah, your second most played game is Rome Total War, where you have 643 hours.
See, why Rome and not Rome 2?
Because
Damn,
of
you
the
have
way
200
the unit structure works. I can make infinitely large armies without needing generals or anything like that. And I can sweep the map by giving myself shit tons of money. And I can go full on Philosopher's Legacy and have infinite armies spilling over the countryside. So if I want to be Gaul, I can just steamroll Rome or something like that.
I see what you mean.
You have
I power fantasy. Video games for me are like 99% power fantasies, and I can appreciate other types.
Right.
You have 600 hours in Hearts of Iron.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many in Civ?
600 hours.
Ooh, my maximum beats yours.
Apparently, that's about where I get done with it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what I have. Counter-Strike probably is my most played game, maybe. I don't know. There's no telling. Let's look real quick. Just for the funnies. I have 2,000 hours in VTube Studio, apparently.
Well, that's,
for fucking
not
streaming.
Exactly playing.
Yeah. I have 906 hours in Counter-Strike.
Damn, I'm beating all of y'all with my max.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, to be fair, Shogun is a slow game that you sit.
Also, a game that
contemplate
you
over.
I've seen you just leave it idle for like hours at a time too.
Yeah, no,
Cheating
I
that
mean,
time.
I sit there and I smoke weed.
Yeah,
too,
I know,
And
I know.
I'll sit there and play, and also I can play Shogun.
You gonna
Total War drunk as shit.
You gonna get
Weirdly
Palworld?
enough. I have heard about that recently. Pokemon with guns, they call it.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon Sweatshop Simulator. It's you know about Ark or Rust or any of those like survival crafting games? where
Yeah,
you're-
I've never played any of them, but
'cause they all suck.
I've had friends
Yeah.
who were fans.
This one does too, but it's just another shitty survival game, but this time it has Pokemon in it, so
And
people
it
are
uses
buying it.
AI generated stuff.
And it's not even that bad as far as AI generated stuff. It's really more of that it lacks quality of life features. I'm gonna be releasing a review on it soon, but I can go over some stuff real
well, there's
quick.
a few things I've heard that might interest people.
Sure.
As a supplemental thing.
Okay.
Sure,
The developer, from what I understand, is known for not finishing their games.
Yes. Correct.
So I would watch out for that. And then currently they're being accused of just stealing copyrights.
Yes.
I imagine Nintendo has its hackles raised.
Well,
No, they don't
Nintendo
care.
hasn't said anything officially, and quite frankly, they're not. Because Asmongold had the best take on this, where Nintendo can't exactly copyright Crab with eyes
well, crabs have eyes.
or Blue Penguin.
Yeah.
You know,
They're
Yeah.
legally distinct monsters. I mean, they are just like
In the same style, but yeah.
they're
like, it's-
Digimon.
it's
They're just
ob-
Digimon.
Yeah, it's obvious, but not too obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's really more of the problems with the game lie in the things that nobody who is unintelligent can like talk about, like things that people would need to know the words for, like that
Right.
they're just not going to know what it is. Like pathfinding. The pathfinding in the game is dog shit.
So
Your
your characters run around.
Oh yeah,
run
the
into
AI
shit.
for the Pokemon that I've seen
for everything.
are
The AI for
bad.
everything.
It's terrible.
Yeah, the AI for enemies, they can't find their way around like a rock, and they'll just shoot into a wall.
From what I saw, the time it takes to do certain tasks is way too long. Like I was watching Reed cut down a tree, right?
Yes.
And it felt like it took fucking forever.
It's Minecraft rules. I mean, once you get the diamond axe, then it doesn't take forever. But the real issue of the game when it comes to something taking forever is you're getting a phone call, Eric. But the real issue is that when you do crafting at a workbench, the game, if you want to craft by yourself, you select what you want to craft, and then you just hold down F, right?
Right.
And then you're going to be holding down F and doing nothing else for about a solid 60 seconds. And that's terrible game design. I mean, you're just going to be sitting there doing nothing but
Right.
holding down F.
Very
When
boring.
easily they could just have you press F and then you wait.
I don't know why I understand it in menus. Like if you're in like a do you want to quit menu, having like that little wheel that times it. I do not understand why so many games choose to have a little wheel that you have to hold the button and it's like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 seconds of just fucking holding the goddamn button when it's not a goddamn like save option
So you don't
or
like
menu mod
It's
option.
so that you don't like accidentally quit out of the game.
But they don't use it for that.
Oh, what are you talking about then?
I'm talking about like in moments of like say it's gotten better over the years. A lot of time now it's button mashing and it's gone from like it's almost like a cylindrical cycle where like we've gone from mash this button to break out of the bonds to
QTEs.
not even QTEs. It's like press X to break out of the bonds or hold X for 5 seconds
Yeah, I guess
to
that's
break
not
out of the
quick
bonds.
time events. That's slow
And
Still
time
the
events.
same
And-
ballpark.
But
yeah.
either way it's concerned, either way, like I'm not talking about like even the button mashing is so much better because I'm doing an action. The fucking it's when I have to hold the button down. Like Fable 3, great example. At Fable 3, every action you take, you have to hold the A button, which is terrible.
The reason that it works that way in a lot of modern games is so that they can load new things off of the hard drive.
I still disagree with that or is it just are they loading models?
Yeah, they're culling things behind you that you're not looking at. Have you noticed in modern games where like there's a lot of like tight squeezes through hallways?
Okay, but
It's that, but like you're holding a button basically.
they need to find a different way.
They do. It's terrible. But I mean, there's more wrong with Palworld. Palworld in itself is just a Skinner box, if you know what that is.
I'm not even talking about Palworld. I'm just talking in general. I don't like any design where I have to hold the button down.
I wrote up some
unless
things.
it's a menu design.
Is a Skinner box that thing where it's like a button that turns itself back off, like it's a self-defeating purpose kind
No,
of thing?
in a Skinner box, you push the button, get a treat.
Yeah, that's Skinner box. Skinner
Okay.
box is like you push a button and then good thing happens, and then they
So you
teach
get
you to
dopamine.
continuously do it, and then it like you stop getting dopamine from it eventually because you're not really doing anything.
Okay, it's the same thing with a slot machine, basically.
Yes, it's a slot
Here's your
machine.
shiny.
Exactly.
Here's your
That's the
shiny.
quintessential Skinner.
I wrote some things here, like at the end of my script, like ways that games can actually compel you to like enjoy them. And I have in my list mystery, mastery of the game, mental challenge, narrative, novelty, and then flow, which I don't really. I'm not going to keep.
It didn't
that.
have any of that.
So what it does have is it has mystery because it's Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
But once you get past the first area, you realize that it's just the same thing again, except for the monsters have more HP and they do more damage.
So the formula ends quick.
Yeah, the formula's over in like 8 hours.
Oh, hold on. I got a question for you then. Mm-hmm. Okay, just on that one alone. So, like, Halo Combat Evolved, for example, is famous for having about a 30-second game loop, which all a game loop is, for anyone that doesn't know, is the formula for how fun a game is. Mm-hmm. That's what a game loop is. So, Combat Evolved, famous for its 30-second game formula, which is walk around, meet a group of enemies, of different enemies, shoot them.
Yeah, that's mastery. That's not mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to Palworld, you could have mastery over Palworld if it were any deeper than a puddle, but it's not really.
Yeah,
It's
Halo had a simple, tight control scheme and
What really made it was the variety of enemies.
Yeah, a simple group of weapons with a nice variety. They all function.
And all the enemies were
and
different and acted different.
You had the
like-
grunts, you had the Jekyls, the
elites.
jackals, you had the elites,
The hunters.
you had the hunters.
You had elites in stuff.
Yeah, and then you had elites using vehicles, and they all had various weapons,
And
too.
they all acted different. Like if you killed an elite first, grunts would go crazy and get scared.
And sometimes you'd
hunters
get those...
always operated in ones or twos by themselves. Fucking jackals and grunts would team up, and jackals would kind of flank you while grunts were through grenades.
you know
or
what
suicide
that falls
charge you.
into on this list?
What's that?
Novelty. Which Palworld is not. And this isn't my list, by the way. This is from like a 12-year-old video by Extra Credits.
Halo
just
is
to
a
put that
very
out there.
crisp game. I literally
You
was
should-
playing the anniversary edition last night.
I don't know if you do this in your script, but you should mention that just because
Absolutely,
it adds
I
weight.
will. Yes, I
Yeah,
mean I haven't.
That adds weight for sure.
Yeah. But out of all of these, I've got 6 things here from that video. Out of the ones that you could feasibly do in Palworld is mystery, but it only lasts about 8 hours, and novelty. It's a crafting game with Pokemon.
What would you say my power fantasy
That was my
falls
problem-
into on that? Like, Would that be a mixture
not-
of mastery and novelty? Because I want all of the stuff.
Nah, because you said you cheat, so mastery is not it.
I
it's not
do
mastery.
cheat, but like I cheat so I can
Flow,
focus
maybe?
on very specific elements of the game that I want to get to.
It would
you
have to
know?
be flow.
Yeah, it'd have to be flow.
You want to
'cause
get
that makes
stoned
me flow
and then
stuff. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because by cheating, I'm allowed to
You're entering the flow.
usurp the flow.
You don't
of the
have to
game.
master the game
well,
to
by
get into
cheating,
the flow
you're
state by
controlling
cheating.
the faucet, basically.
Yeah. So that way I can enjoy the game on my time.
At whatever
'cause I don't
stream
have
you
time
want
to
to, yeah.
master it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so I can just circumvent part of the rules of the game in order to enjoy the novelty.
Depends
and the
on
flow.
what game too. I mean,
Yeah,
in
like-
some cases it could be mystery. You might be worried. You might be concerned about like what's in the rest of the game and want to find out.
I'm not good at mystery. If you give me the chance, I cheat at mystery.
Breath of the Wild is
Instantly.
mystery.
Well,
I
like-
mean, but you can't really cheat at it. You know.
No, but
Mystery
like
of,
what I'm saying is, for example, with Hunter x Hunter, they've been teasing spoilers.
It's not a video game. First off,
I'm using it as an example. Fuck off.
I don't know if it works.
Entertainment
You didn't
mediums
even
are
give me a
comparable.
chance.
Let's
Sure,
see what his
okay.
example is. Let
I'm
him
worried.
cook.
I'm worried. I'm just
Let him
No,
cook.
it's
let
just
him cook.
mystery.
Let him cook.
I'm just talking about mystery.
okay.
Right.
So, in terms of like that, they've been teasing this fight between the Ant King, the Chimera Ant King, and the old guy who's supposed to be super strong in the world, right?
Okay.
And yeah, they've been teasing it for like 40 episodes now. So like I was like, fuck it. I looked and it was like 20 more episodes to go before I got to the fight. I just skipped that shit. I went straight to the fight. I was just like, I don't do good with mystery. I don't want to wait on this anymore.
A good game. Well, a good game wouldn't allow you to do that, and the show wouldn't have allowed you to do that when it was currently airing. Most
No,
people
exactly, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is I'm bad at mystery. If you allow me to, I'm going to skip it.
And
Yeah,
it's worth
that's what
noting
Eric
that
does.
Mystery doesn't have to necessarily be,
Mysterious.
something plot related. No, it doesn't have to be something plot related. Like, for instance, the mystery in a game like, let's say, Fallout New Vegas or Shogun Total War. The mystery wouldn't be, what's going to happen next. Like, we're going to go to war. But, like, we know what's going to happen next in Shogun Total War. The mystery is, what kind of crazy new units can I unlock that are going to be ridiculously powerful once I get to the end of this tech tree? Or, like, in Fallout, barring the plot, because there are mystery plots in Fallout. But, like, the mystery would be like, what kind of crazy shit can I find in these, like, ruins? What kind of new items can I get?
That's
What
almost
kind of
novelty,
amazing-
but I agree with you.
It hits both, though. Like, there's elements of
Mystery
both there,
in general,
you know.
I would
Mystery can
say-
be more than one thing, is all I'm
in
saying.
Shogun for 2, mystery would be like you want to know how the game's going to develop because it develops naturally and doesn't develop the same way every time.
Yeah, and there's also events like when the black ship shows up and there's this like
Right.
European ship that has like 16 like full powered cannons on it.
That would be mystery in this case.
Yeah, and it
really-
shows up out of nowhere and it fucks up everybody, but you can catch it and use it.
Really quick, just to show you how fuck. No, my brain's not too bad. But anyways, a news article just scrolled on my phone that
Yeah.
said breaking news: woman charged with murder. AF and like AF, and that's how it ended. And I was just
Murder
like,
as fuck.
yeah, I was like, woman charged with murder as fuck. Damn, bitch.
They charged
That's
that
a hard
bitch.
charge, man.
Well,
That ain't murder. That's murderous.
Hey, did you guys?
Wait, hold on, Will. Save it for the next episode. We're actually done. This has been the AnythingCast. I'm Patrick,
I'm Eric.
I'm Will.
and we'll see you guys next week.